let me take you back to a story most of us grew up with. The story of Thirsty Crow. How many of you can say this was one of your first childhood lessons? Please give me a 5. Almost all of you. And I was thinking I'm the only one secretly obsessed. This crow, clever and determined, fills pebbles into the pot to quench its thirst. Problem solved? But let's look beyond the pot. The simple earthen vessel, also called matka or comb in Sanskrit, holds a deeper significance. So India is now witnessing Mahakumbh, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. From cultural enthusiasts to spiritual seekers to merchants cleansing their souls in sacred waters, this kumbh unites millions across religions into this largest peaceful conference of humankind in the whole world. Like this grand kumbh that exists in the outer world, we all have a real inner kumbh, a sacred space that we fill with the traditions, values, emotions, ethics, beliefs, spirituality, and we uphold this kumbh throughout our lives. Like the thirsty crow, human journey is not merely about filling this inner kumbh, but fulfilling it with happiness and harmony. Hello, gentlemen and strong ladies. Let me introduce you to my inner self. This little girl isn't me. But yes, this was exactly how I was feeling, not at the beginning of my preschool, but at the beginning of my arranged marriage. This toddler is retained in the institution because it is important to educate the child, to learn the new way of life, and of course, to sustain this institution of education. Similarly, I was retained in my new house after marriage, not allowed to meet my parents as per my wish. But believe me, my in-laws were very right, according to their belief system, to sustain this institution of marriage and family. Women are more resilient to this change of nouns, change of name, place, pets, and things after getting married. But I felt it was a breach of gender equality when my husband didn't have to seek anyone's permission to meet his parents, but I had to. And every time I sought this permission, I could hear them think. I could hear, we have the pocket veto. But I wonder, in a world where identities are constantly evolving, from gender fluidity to unique self-expressions, do we still need gender equality? The truth is, equality may not be the end goal. Usually, when life or a greater force tries to crush our existence, we face a defining moment in those depressive encounters, isn't it? Either surrender to the weight of unfair norms or rise to a greater purpose. And the courage to rise, to fight for what truly matters, comes from a higher intelligence, or say, intelligence of our emotions, the phenomenal driver in our emotional traffic jams, with whom we find the resilience to weather any storm, turning every struggle into unshakable strength. But how do we tap into this intelligence? Scientific studies have proved that 95% of our brain activity is subconscious, and that majority of our thoughts, behaviors, decisions take place subconsciously, leaving only 5% room for our conscious brain. How unfair, as if brain is a democracy, but subconscious is a dictatorship. So if we need to change anything in our life, we need to work at the subconscious level and change the subconscious meaning attached to any perspective to amend the constitution of our life. Because after getting married, the new place or situation seemed to be difficult for me to settle. It gave me enough amount of anxiety attached to that word difficult, as if finding a seat in Mumbai local train at 9 a.m. So I changed the subconscious meaning of the word difficult with the word different and amended my quest for gender equality with human rights. Then I came across an incredibly interesting research by international organization Ipsos that was studied across 31 countries, which stated that 60% of millennials and Gen Z men think that women's equality discriminates against men. Is it? According to this research, the data from India revealed that 3 out of every 4 men say that they have done more than enough to support equality. And the good thing is, equal number of women also acknowledge this fact. At least here men and women are on the same page. But this fourth man, of course, he is preparing his apology speech to his wife as if it's a TED talk. But this fourth man, after his thought process, what I believe is that true gender equality is when a man says, let me do what she's doing, and not only let her do what I'm doing. According to this research, it also inferred that Gen Z are more conservative about their view on men staying home and taking care of kids. And also, the Gen Z know if they take action, they can promote gender equality. So hats off to everybody who is trying their best to make women not only capable, but comfortable to avail equal opportunities, despite the horizons of difference between the two genders. Intrigued by this research and drawn from my experience as an entrepreneur, author, mental wealth coach, I embarked on a journey to survey the psychosocial status of women. And the data I gathered revealed the painful reality and the unseen struggles that women face daily. So here I would like to present a few of the key findings from my survey. Accordingly, 3/4 of the women say that the spouse or family are supportive in sharing household work and raising kids. Data that is very close to Ipsos research, that men are supportive, validating my survey as well. And definitely yes, men go to great lengths when it comes to supporting their families. I can never forget how my husband supported me when I wanted to go for UPSC preparation. That too after having a child and leaving my job from IIT. Now, that's true dedication. So we should always appreciate men. Although it's difficult, but let's admit it, ladies, a wife cannot survive without a husband. And a husband cannot survive without a, well, Wi-Fi or a peaceful remote place. Despite all this support, half of the women strongly agree that gender equality cannot be achieved. And here comes the answer why. Where a big chunk of women, approximately 3/4 of them, are employed, not even half of the women have a say in majority family decisions, like the males in the family. For example, property divisions. And where only 1/3 of women can fully express their emotional needs in personal or professional fronts, this ratio further shrinks to only 1/4 of women, even less than that, who feel free to express their emotional disagreements in personal or professional spheres. Before the survey, I didn't know it was that difficult. But despite all this, half of the women also say that financial independence alone can achieve equality. But don't you think this data speaks for itself? That financial independence has somehow failed to fully address equality and emotional stability in women. It's time to review this thinking. Today morning, while sipping my tea in this misty morning of Delhi, I was trying to enjoy it, as usual I do in the mountains where I live. The first ray of sun, it turns the grayish mountain tips into gold, just like the golden touch of Midas, and it seems all magical. Amid all this glittery thought, I saw a woman rushing along the parked cars, distributing newspapers. And I'm sure she must be preparing meals for her family while also earning them. Now, this is true magic. Balancing work, motherhood, personal sacrifices, and perhaps that is why we depict females as goddess Ashtbhuja, for they have more hands than excuses. Besides this, scientific studies have also proved that a woman's brain is wired for leadership. But because they have a larger limbic system, or emotional brain as we call it, and they are more engaged with caregiving, a woman is 3 times more prone to mental health issues as compared to men worldwide. So if we want to sustain this institution of family and society as a whole, we need to prioritize women's mental well-being. And for accumulating this mental wealth, a human doesn't have to have equality with any man, nor feel discriminated against any woman. So this isn't any gender equality debate. Be it any social construct, we have to deal with humans. Where a human is the reason for our happiness, a human is the cause of our sufferings too. As in losing a loved one, unresolved conflicts, broken relationships. But despite this profound love and inherent differences, only these human connections can make human experience flourish in itself. And as already said, equality may not be the end goal, but flourishing can be. And this flourishing is all about achieving our highest physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual potential. So we simply need to have equality with this potential. And this potential reveals only through emotional intelligence. Every emotion is a function of time. It doesn't matter whether you feel great or broken, confident or shaken, or you feel blessed or forsaken. What matters is how long you stay in that emotion. This duration makes the difference. You hold it, you sold it. And this intelligence is not about suppressing any negative emotion, but expressing any negative or positive emotion with art. Even Upavedas have emphasized that self-expression is an art. And when this art creates selfless love, truth, and great character, this art is considered sacred. And simply by amending the three key aspects of our emotions, we can tap into the graceful art of this intelligence. Let me reveal these three key aspects to you. The three P's, as I call them: perceptions, perspectives, personalism. Perceptions. What do we see in this world? Like, we fail only at the things we don't desire to do. Just because you can do it does not mean I can do it too. My core values may not align with yours, and that is what defines the boundaries of my actions and choices. But we often get caught into this idea, I can do it too, and end up attributing our setbacks to external forces, labeling them misfortunes. Perhaps a more insightful perception to see these setbacks can be misfortune, opportunities in disguise waiting to be discovered. Misfortune taught me to preserve my hope until fulfilled. And this perception helped me to amend the subconscious meaning of failures. Perspectives. What do we think about this world? Perspectives are formed by the stories narrated by perceptions. Despite many failures in my life, I never told myself to succumb to social pressures. So I was able to build a strong and graceful demeanor, and this demeanor helped me to easily navigate the belief system ocean of the people around me. That too without having any turbulence inside my brain fluids. Perhaps preventing it from becoming a cocktail of negative thoughts. Trust me, no one wants to drink the cocktail. By transforming my perspectives, I realized that compassion, empathy, justice, generosity, these aren't any of my duties or obligations anymore. Rather, these are essentially my humane rights. Owing to my existence as a human, and this transformation in my perspectives helped me foster more meaningful connections with the world around me. Personalism. What do we think about ourselves, irrespective of the world? Personalism is an individual's unique ability to influence perceptions and perspectives. So, embrace your truth. Acknowledge all your emotions, be it love, fear, envy, guilt, and honor your failures as much as your successes. Because accepting our true self is the highest form of self-respect. And trust me, if we can handle our own mess, we deserve a standing ovation. Our personalism is like that simplest molecule that's very hard to deconstruct. So it becomes the most powerful and sustainable form of our existence, owing to the internal wisdom of our raw self. And being comfortable with our raw self is the greatest virtue of all times. And eventually, when we accept our personalism virtuously, do you know what happens? We don't need to find a purpose in life. Yes, our purpose finds us. And as we are humans, our most authentic self can only be humane. So simply embracing humane rights and emotional intelligence, the rise in the happiness index of our nation will follow. After all, who wouldn't be happier in a world where in a chilly morning, a steaming cup of matka chai is served, not only with little hearts, but king-size hearts. So that's all for the moment. Thank you, everybody.